Hey guys, welcome to the first episode of It's on the Internet, where we discuss crazy, fun, interesting, weird, and important stuff that's on the internet. It's been 2 months since college started, and trust me, we understand that it's been a roller coaster ride for everyone. And everyone is trying in their own way to kind of make it through, with tips or tricks or hacks they formulated by themselves. So this brings us to the first topic of our episode: college hacks. College hacks that we found on the internet, college hacks that were given by our friends, college hacks that we found on social media. So, yeah. So, what are your thoughts on that, guys?
Okay, so I asked a couple of my friends. I held a poll on my Instagram, and my most common college hacks were that there was always a free version of your textbook. You just have to look, and you should always make a group meet for all of your classes.
I mean, yeah, I think the textbook parts. There's a lot of debate. Like even where, I went on GMU Reddit and I actually put up questions regarding college hacks, and a majority of people were talking about textbooks because they're like how it's expensive to buy them from the stores directly, and they suggested sites like LibGen or like PDF versions. So I guess there's a lot of debate about that. What do y'all think, Anna and Arpit?
Yeah, I got a lot of that too. A lot of people were saying to use like Library Genesis or to buy used textbooks. Someone said never ever buy a textbook from the Mason bookstore because they are so expensive. But yeah,
Yeah, I heard the same things, but upon research, I found that Noble is actually saving the student around 90% of the actual cost. But if you really want cheap textbooks for the same course, you can use the Library Genesis. It makes more sense.
Because I remember like first semester in, and obviously I went to buy textbooks from Barnes and Nobles, and they were really expensive. And then second semester on, I realized that I had to look for alternative sources, and that was when
Yeah,
like I
right.
went to say Chegg or like Amazon, and then other sites that provided rental. But I think the downside with books that are rented is the quality is really low, and then you don't get the latest editions in them. So I guess that ultimately somewhere or the other, like we have to have like the to buy them from the stores to have like proper textbooks.
Good point.
Yeah,
I agree. And with Chegg,
yeah.
the one thing we have to be careful with is, not with just textbooks, but when using Chegg, Chegg does report their users to your colleges. So that's always one thing to be careful with when you post anything on Chegg.
Delving further into this, I think uh, a lot of discussions revolve around do not procrastinate and submit your assignments on time. And personally, I've faced like a huge challenge because it's like in the beginning of the semester you're like, okay, yeah, so I'm going to be on top of my stuff. I'm going to like make a calendar, have an organize, have an almanac, and like just do everything. But like as soon as like say the second week or third week comes in, and I lose track of all the plans I'd made for the semester. So it's I mean for me it's pretty insane to like actually not procrastinate in that sense.
Yeah, I'd say you're right, but I think it's also important that you don't take things extremely hard on yourself. Take things as they come. Things will become harder. Some things would become difficult to understand, but make sure that you are on track of what you're doing. As you're saying, don't procrastinate, but don't take it too hard. Also, I heard you should set like a Pomodoro timer, which is a 25-minute time of just work and 5-minute breaks. It really tends to make you productive in the end.
So like I'm on Reddit right now, and there's this post that is made like before school starts, start a sleep schedule and regular general schedule with your class accordingly. Keep a writing device near, notebook, phone, or laptop. Look for random notes or list. Make a list. Sleep, sleep, and sleep. Hydrate. Be kind to yourself and have a home cooked meal each week. So, what are your thoughts on this particular comment? Because it's actually like so it's so idealistic, and I mean personally, I don't see many people achieving even half of it.
as a person who eats ramen in between study sessions, I cannot attest to eating a home cooked meal or any of that. But I do think that sleep is very important, and I've discovered how wonderful naps are. So.
friends and like not just me, but my friends as well. We always stay in the dining halls as long as we can, to save up on our swipes for the money we spend. Because I'm an off-campus student, so I don't get unlimited swipes. I have to pay each time. So I set aside a time and I just sit in there and I just eat and do my work for as long as I can. And I have a lot of other friends who will sit in there for hours and hours to come, and they just, as new food keeps coming out, they grab it, keep doing their work, and go back once they're done.
Yeah. Another popular this thing is that people are saying that always read the syllabus. So I don't know. I mean, it is there everywhere. Like always read the syllabus. But when I go to class, or like I don't see many people reading the syllabus in the sense that I personally like half the time if the syllabus is too long, I just read the assignment part because just to know what assignments do I have to do. But like I don't know. I mean, so because they're going to discuss it in class anyway, the professors. So I don't know. What do you feel? What do you all feel about the syllabus? Like, do you all actually read it, or like, do you all just wing it?
I always go for my syllabus. I always find the syllabus so helpful, but it's only helpful if your professor sticks to it. I've had professors who don't even, they write a syllabus just because they have to, but they don't even go follow it. So if your professor sticks with a syllabus, that's like the best.
No, I completely agree. I don't know if y'all have seen that video of Snoop Dogg telling people to like read their syllabuses, but
Yeah, I've
my
seen that.
criminology professor linked that in her syllabus. So
I mean,
Yeah, I'd say the same. It's important. It's simple things like the syllabus that could make a difference in what you're learning and what is actually being presented. But as Anna and Neha have said, it's not that helpful if the professor doesn't follow up on what's actually going on in class.
yeah.
also in addition to that, I think that one thing like with reading the syllabus is that professors all have different grading scales. Like I was in this astronomy class and anywhere from an 80 to a 100 was an A. So everyone thought they like failed the first test, but really they got like a B on it. And so it's just stuff like that. It's like read the syllabus because you need to find out what your professor's grading scale is.
I mean, yeah, that is true. And you know, a lot of people have suggested to like recruit a study buddy, and I mean personally I have no experience, but from what I've like read online, it's a really efficient way of getting work done and like getting those study hours in to like revise for a test or like for an exam that's coming up. So I mean, have y'all had any study buddies or like have y'all had like any experience with that sort of thing?
Yeah, I've had study buddies. I do study groups with my friends in my classes. I always have a group meet for each of my class. So within then, we all plan like certain days that work for us, and we make smaller groups within our group, and we meet up maybe like once a week, or depending on the class and how much help we really need. But study buddies are the way to go.
I mean, yeah. I mean, so here's how I look at it, and I think that's running theory as well. That people who are extroverts, they study well in study groups, whereas people who are introverts, they study well in like by themselves or like in a particular corner. But so I don't know, but like I feel that it's easier to like study on your own because if you're in a group, there's going to be a lot of chit chatting, and not a lot of work is going to get done unless it's a project and it's deadline day. Then I mean, you have to get it done, you know, in that sense. Well,
Well,
what else do you have?
my two most popular online college hacks would be Mason 360 and Unidays. Mason 360s, a lot of people have mentioned is like the easiest way they've been able to connect and make new friends with all of the events that they have on campus. So I checked into that and I thought it was actually like a really great way. There's so many fun events and you can, not everyone says who's going, but you can see like a good amount of like list of, who all's going, and you can see some of the people who are going. So, and you can like organize them by, categories which you like, and a lot of people really like enjoy that because not everyone wants to go to an event that doesn't apply to them. So it was good for people to see that. And then for Unidays, a lot of people told me that there's really good discounts on there. I haven't checked it out yet, but they told me for like ASOS and Apple and a bunch of other stores that they've been able to get really good discounts off of there. So I hear that's a really good one.
I mean, Mason 360 is genuinely a really nice app. I mean, like technologically not so good, but like the idea of it is really good because I mean yeah, because like you honestly, I mean it's always like buzzing in the beginning of each semester, and it kind of slowly dies down towards the end. But yeah, if you're like there when the buzz is happening, you can actually meet like a ton of people. You can like look up organizations and stuff. Because I think once like the recruit, I mean like or recruiting or like the admitting period is over in different organizations or like events, activity dies down because no one's on it anymore because the purpose has been fulfilled, and like people have rushed Greek life, or like they've joined organizations like TEDx or like
Hmm.
Patriot Activity Council or something like that. But yeah, I mean but an app like that is really helpful because in Mason 360 every like community has its own page. So like for example, President's Park has its own page where like people post stuff they want to sell, or people post stuff they found. For example, I didn't lose my phone, but like I kind of like dropped my phone somewhere and then I couldn't find it. So
Hmm.
my friend was on Mason 360, and then she saw that, oh, like someone found my phone at Southside, and they just posted on Mason 360 saying that, oh, like someone's phone, iPhone, and the cover is so and so. So I guess in that way, like to increase connectivity, it's a pretty good app. But I guess again, we should use a lot of it. We should use more of it.
Yeah,
Um,
I
you
was
know.
scrolling through and I saw you can. One thing I thought was pretty funny and cool was for one of the tabs you can organize them based off of free food and free stuff that you can get. So, for the kids that are looking for somewhere to grab something to eat,
Yeah.
don't want to spend too much, that would be a really good helpful tool. Another hack that I use is like for my scheduling when I plan my classes. I never do back to back. I always keep a little bit of time for me so I have some time to go from one building to another. And I never do more than 3 days a week, but a lot of people I know do about 4 days a week, but they usually stay on campus. I haven't met anyone to this day who's done 5 days a week.
No, I mean I think it's really good to like space your classes out because like you need a breather in during the weekday as well, and so like
Yeah,
common trend is that you take Fridays off, so you have like a long weekend, like Friday, Saturday,
that's
Sunday.
what I do.
Yeah, or like or if you're like even like I wasn't lazy but like holiday hungrier, you could take like you could even skip a Monday class. So basically you do like 4 or 5 classes like in the span of like Tuesday to like
Hmm.
Thursday, which I have done in the past. And I mean, it seems nice in the beginning, but like as soon as we reach like peak semester, you really wish that you had your classes spread out so you could do more stuff. Especially,
Yeah.
I think that we should not skip Monday classes. Like, and that's so basically, I was on this blog by this professor, and she was saying the same thing that do not skip classes on Monday. Like have a Monday class because it kind of gets you like prepared for the rest of the week. You can take a Friday off, um, but yeah, a Monday class is really essential in order to like be in that state of um, I don't know. She used I think something academic, but yeah, and then I completely agree with her in that sense.
Oh yeah.
But yeah.
And since you mentioned the professor, I thought Rate My Professor is really good. It's so helpful when you're trying to pick your next classes because I have picked a class without looking at Rate My Professor. And once I was in it and I was like, oh my goodness, what is this? And I checked Rate My Professor, I really regretted not checking it beforehand. So Rate My Professor is like your best friend. Like keep it.
Oh yeah. So thank you so much for watching. Stay tuned. We will come up with more interesting topics like Yelp reviews and crazy facts about phobias and stuff like that. So yeah, stay tuned. See you all.